Is it because they don't like the United States, or is it because they see problematic arguments and narratives coming from Washington, D.C.? I mean, we have a situation here where Washington is actively supporting the bombing of Yemen, where many, many thousands more people have been killed, civilians have been killed, where famine is the worst, according to all the institutional human rights organizations. Famine has created the worst humanitarian catastrophe in the world, where Joe Biden, on the one hand, calls for Vladimir Putin to go before the International Criminal Court, but the US itself won't even join the International Criminal Court. When the rest of the world is seeing these different contradictions, are they beginning to question the politics of it?
I think it's both. I think they don't like the United States, some of these countries, just because for what it stands for. And of course, they do look at what's happening in other parts of the world, and they're questioning why is the US, so focused on what Russia is doing in Ukraine and not on these other conflicts. So I think that's all in the mix there. And they all have their own interests, and therefore they're not willing to support, the stance of the US, Europe, Australia, Canada, Singapore, Japan, and a number of other countries.
So in light of that, where does the future of Putin go? What does that look like, the man himself?
Well, I think at the moment he understands that his army is doing much worse than he thought it would. He's not willing to give up, obviously. He's going to keep striking. I think the peace talks that are taking place, the Russians aren't serious about them yet. The Ukrainians are serious about them. So I think this is a conflict that's going to continue for some time to come. Hopefully there'll be some ceasefires and some humanitarian corridors, but Putin is not going to give up on his desire to weaken Ukraine. If he can't subjugate it, at least make it very difficult for what's left of the government in Kiev to function, and I think to take over the Donbas region certainly fully. And he would like to do that in time for May the 9th, when the Russians will have their parade in Moscow commemorating victory in World War II.